If the chip world were a high school drama, NVIDIA has been the star quarterback for years. Trophies, endorsement deals, the whole ego-boosting montage. But in October 2025 the plot twisted. AMD walked onto the field with a pep band and a megaphone, announced a blockbuster multi-year deal with OpenAI to supply massive AI compute capacity, and investors suddenly started cheering for the underdog. The headlines were loud, the stock popped, and the market got busy reshuffling its fantasy lineup. The deal, what AMD actually announced, and why it's giant. On October 6, 2025, AMD and OpenAI publicly announced a multi-generation agreement in which OpenAI will deploy 6 gigawatts of AMD Instinct GPUs for the next generation of its AI infrastructure, with an initial 1 gigawatt deployment starting in the second half of 2026. That's not a tweak to a purchase order, it's a long-term commitment to scale AI compute using AMD silicon across years and multiple chip generations. Put that in plain language. Imagine a city agreeing to power up 6 gigawatts of energy for an entire factory district over several years. Except the energy is AI compute capacity, banks of GPUs humming away to train and run massive models. The initial 1 gigawatt rollout is like lighting up the first mega warehouse. The rest follows as AMD ships subsequent, faster generations of chips. The NVIDIA comparison, a duel of titans. NVIDIA, not to be outdone, had earlier announced a landmark partnership with OpenAI to deploy at least 10 gigawatts of NVIDIA systems, and publicly signaled plans to invest up to $100 billion into OpenAI as those systems are deployed. This was an equally dramatic, headline-grabbing move that underscored NVIDIA's muscle in the AI stack. So what's happening? Two things, simultaneously. OpenAI is diversifying compute relationships. Rather than relying on a single supplier, OpenAI has secured large-scale deals with multiple GPU vendors. This reduces supply risk and gives OpenAI leverage. Chipmakers are racing for the same treasure chest. For AMD, landing a 6 gigawatt commitment is strategic validation, it says. We can win large cloud-scale deployments, and those wins have enormous revenue and credibility implications. Think of it as a sports league where two teams sign multi-year stadium deals at once. The stadiums are where the real money and future fans, customers, live. Both teams score, but the market rewards the one that signals more immediate and believable traction. By the way, if you are benefiting from the content so far and want more like this, like the video, it means much to me. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications bell, and comment the word more. Just go ahead and type the word more so I know. Now that you have commented, let's continue. How big is 6 gigawatts? A concrete image. Numbers in gigawatts are abstract, so a visual, 6 gigawatts of compute is roughly equivalent to the power needed for several million homes running full tilt. But instead of powering kettles and TVs, you're powering servers doing trillions of math operations per second to train and serve massive language and multimodal models. The first 1 gigawatt is the test launch, validate architecture, scale up operations, smooth supply chain wrinkles, and then hit the gas. Another way to picture it, if one of AMD's MI450 GPUs is a super-fast blender for AI workloads, OpenAI just ordered an industrial kitchen with millions of those blenders, then gave AMD a standing order for batches of new, improved blenders for years to come. Why did AMD's stock leap? The market reaction. The day the deal was announced, AMD stock exploded in headline fashion, a one-day surge of roughly 24% on October 6 as traders digested the scale and implications of the deal. That immediate reaction was the "oh wow" moment. But the story didn't stop there. In the 2 weeks after October 6, the share price continued to climb, and some market trackers reported AMD shares up by about 42% since the announcement, as funds rotated and analysts bumped up price targets. That rotation reflects investors betting on AMD's future AI revenue growth, higher margins from data center wins, and credibility improvements that change AMD from contender to must consider in cloud AI infrastructure. In plain human terms, when the market smells a big, recurring revenue stream large enough to change growth expectations, it throws a party. AMD's OpenAI deal felt like someone had just poured a keg of champagne into an earnings forecast. What AMD is actually doing to win, beyond press releases. AMD's strategy is multi-pronged and surprisingly cinematic, designing AI-first GPUs and systems. The Instinct family, e.g., MI450, and AMD server racks, like the Helios platform, are engineered to compete with purpose-built NVIDIA systems. AMD is emphasizing high performance per watt and tight integration with CPUs and networking stack, EPYC CPUs plus Instinct GPUs plus Pensando networking, to deliver whole system efficiency wins for hyperscalers. Securing scale deals. The OpenAI and other cloud provider agreements, e.g., Oracle, give AMD both volume and a marketing edge. Volume matters. Supply commitments and long-term contracts justify larger manufacturing runs, better yields, and lower per-unit costs. Tying incentives to growth. The deal reportedly included equity/options mechanisms that could give OpenAI warrants or stakes in AMD if certain milestones are hit, creating an alignment and headlines that amplify investor excitement. AMD isn't just selling chips, it's selling a future kitchen blueprint to the world's biggest chefs. If you give a restaurant chain the full kitchen and a multi-year supply contract, they're likelier to build menus around your appliances, and you get repeated orders. Why investors care: revenue, margins, and psychology. A few reasons the market rewarded AMD so strongly. Revenue scale. Multi-year deployments of gigawatts can translate into tens of billions of dollars of revenue over time. Think large, recurring top-line flows, not one-off sales. That changes valuation math. Margin profile. Data center GPUs often carry higher margins than commodity PC chips. If AMD can capture large AI infrastructure share, it improves profitability mix. Sentiment and herding. Markets are social. When analysts raise targets and big funds rotate out of one leader, NVIDIA, and into a rising challenger, AMD, momentum follows. The psychology of fear of missing out doesn't need math to move prices, but it often follows math afterward. Note this as well. And he saith unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still, and he which is filthy, let him be filthy still, and he that is righteous, let him be righteous still, and he that is holy, let him be holy still. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city. Revelation 22 verses 10-14. If we fully obey the Lord, the Creator of heaven and earth, and carefully follow all his commandments, he has promised to set us high above all the nations of the earth. Deuteronomy 28. We shall be blessed when we come in and when we go out. I appeal to you to accept God and let him be your guide, for he will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged. Deuteronomy 31 verse 8. Want more information? Please check the description section. That's the end for now. If you have watched until the end, drop a comment like this: I stayed until the end. Just comment that I stayed until the end. When I see this comment, I will give you a heart. 3 more favors I request from you. First, like this video, subscribe and then turn on the notifications bell. If you do this, you greatly encourage me to continue bringing to you insightful content. Do not miss out on our future videos full of insight. All I am asking is your subscription. Thanks for joining us today. Your support means so much to us. Do not hesitate to share this video to help someone who may benefit. I recommend that you watch the next video, subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts about today's video. Wish you God's blessings and care. Faith and prayer will do what no power on earth can accomplish. See you in the next video by God's mercy.